Once upon a time...
Begin at the beginning, I suppose.
My purpose in coming here tonight was twofold.
As you see, my dear Pick, the human ear is a perfect recording and amplifying apparatus.
Texture.
An artifact.
When do we start?
Oh, we've started.
It sounds like this.
So your father's family from Huangmei, they're important family in Huangmei?
Yeah, very important. It's Mei. You can feel some county, some land. Maybe have more than 2 or 3 famous family.
Yeah.
So my family is one of these 3.
Your great grandfather is a hero in the Civil War, yeah?
I don't like to use hero this word, but my great grandfather do so many work, but it's underground. What is it called? Spy? Because nationalist party will call to him if they find you work for the Communist Party. So he's that kind of person. You have to hide your identity.
And they did catch him, yeah?
They called him. But the point is, they give you this big plan, but later you didn't get any benefit apart from just give you a title and say you're a hero.
So how about your grandfather, like your father's father?
That's why we don't like a hero this thing, because this kind of a hero, his son later even be punished just because his career is the school headmaster, primary school.
Wow, that's quite impressive, yeah.
Yeah, but because you know because your education, you work in education. Of course, you have your independent idea. So just because he say something, different idea, and then they just, the China in 1950 or 60s, I don't know, that is if you say anything against the government idea, so he will punish.
He lost his job.
Lost his job. So my grandfather is depressed.
Your father has like 3 brothers and 1 sister, yeah? It's a big family, yeah? Although it's normal that time, yeah?
Yeah,
so many.
Like your grandma has 5 children.
Yeah.
In that time it's quite normal.
And your father is the oldest one, yeah?
Most successful. 20 years ago it is.
Okay.
But since China economy is so fast to grow, then I think my family just completely be behind.
They were left
the whole
behind.
family. I think my father's idealist and quite naive for Chinese politics. In China, this kind of society, if you don't know how to follow the Communist Party's idea, the idea change, or they wouldn't tell you the clear idea. They just what they say is not they really want to do. So the clever people knows what they say is under meaning is not what they say. It's the another meaning. That's the clever Chinese. They know how to react in the right way. But my family, it's not like that kind of people. So that's like a fate.
Your father went to school in Huangmei, yeah? But then he left school and he wanted to be a lawyer, yeah?
Yeah, that's after Deng Xiaoping's time. So the people have the chance to go to university again. Before Deng Xiaoping is when Chairman Mao's time. You don't have chance because they close the school, they close the university. You don't have chance. Even you're just teenage, you just.
But he always wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah, after that. No. After that, he had this idea.
But he made a fake ID so he can go to university, yeah?
He makes his age different. It's not for university. It's for he want to go to work early. Because that's Chairman Mao's time. If you can't go to school, you can't go to college. If you can't go to college, 1, you can go to factory to work to get money. Oh, not get really. You can independent living now. Another choice, you don't go to work. You go to the countryside farm to do some labor work. So my father just want to escape that, go to the countryside, go to the farm. So he chose, okay, I choose to go to work, but his age is too young to go to work.
Wow.
So he
like
changed.
15, yeah.
Yeah. So he have to change.
So he went to work in a factory
Yeah.
in Ezhou.
Yeah, in the in China that time it's all it's a national factory.
Yeah.
They have the very socialist. That time is you work for the factory. Basically, it's like for them looks like it's for the whole life. You work for them, you retire there, and you get all the social benefits there. You're free in the hospital.
Okay.
Your children is free in the kindergarten.
So you belong to the Danwei, yeah? Okay. What kind of factory was it?
Heavy machine, they called.
Heavy machinery, yeah, in English as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Heavy machine for industry, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
For some industry.
And he met your mother in there.
No.
Is that right?
No. You know, in China, in that time, they usually is blind date. They have the friends. It's like Facebook these days. They have Facebook will tell you you have common friends.
Okay.
So that common friends find that guy, young guy, maybe. Do you want to introduce some girl to you? And my father said, yeah, please.
Okay.
So the common friend find another woman in the opposite Yangtze River,
Okay.
another city.
Because your mother's also not from Ezhou. Your mother's from Wushu. Yeah.
But in that time, she's also not in Wuxi. She left her hometown, go to work again.
In Ezhou as well.
No, opposite Yangtze River.
How did they meet? Where did they meet then?
In common friend's house. That's usually blind date.
In Huanggang.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe in Ezhou. I don't know.
Okay.
That's
Your mother's family is the Fang family. Yeah. So Fang family is from Wushu, which is quite a it's very close to Huangmei, but it's very different. Yeah.
very different culture.
Yeah. What's the difference? The culture of the two places? I think I know, but
They don't like each other.
no. My feeling is Huangmei is people are quite serious, maybe too serious, and artistic in a very conservative way. And in Wushu, I feel like people very like funny, like earthy. They like
What do you mean
they're-
earthy?
They're like the common people, like they like to swear and shout and tell people what they think, you know? It's really different, yeah? It's like, I feel like Huangmei is like Beijing and Wushu is like,
You mean one
like
more south and more
Guangzhou.
north?
Yeah, it really feels like that to me. Is that true?
You can say that. You can say that. But for us, maybe we saw more aspect.
Okay. What's the difference for you then?
Different way mean.
Okay, they're mean in different ways.
Yeah.
So they're both mean, but mean in different ways.
Yeah.
Okay. Your grandfather on your mother's side, so your mother's father, it was his second marriage, yeah? And he was married before.
That's why I never saw my grandfather in my...
He's really old, yeah?
Yeah, because he married my grandma. His second marriage is already middle age. Yeah, so we didn't see.
So he died before you were born?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. He's very old, yeah.
From my grandfather, that generation, when they die, the age is not very old. If you got the 70 years old,
Yeah.
that's quite lucky. My grandfather maybe more than 70, but
Okay.
not 80.
But because it was his second marriage, he was already old when he had the kids, yeah. And it's 3 girls, yeah? Yeah. And having 3 girls is not lucky in China or something?
Yeah.
Your grandmother's not happy then?
Yeah, I guess that's just my grandmother's idea. I think my grandfather don't care because he already had the boys. He's fine, I guess.
So it's the early 1970s, yeah? This time. So it's during the Cultural Revolution, yeah?
Yeah.
Still during this time, yeah?
Yeah.
So I remember you told me about your auntie was a Red Guard that time.
The auntie you met before in Wuxia.
Dai, yeah?
Dai.
Mm.
You know, in that time, Red Guard can travel. She take train free.
Yeah.
Take trains free to Beijing. She did.
What to do?
They want to see the Chairman Mao. Will be excited and crying.
And did she make people wear signs, say, capitalist Rhoda, things like that? You know, 走字牌.
走字牌. Yeah.
And beat teachers and doctors?
Probably they wouldn't tell me if they really did this kind of bad things in their life. It's shame to tell. I can't judge did they do this kind of thing or not.
Okay. Didn't your grandfather have to wear the sign, say, 走字牌?
I don't know did they give this title or not, but they really just put him in the public. To
Criticise him in
Yeah.
public and through.
Yeah.
His own daughter join in?
Probably. Probably.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Lots of these happen, I heard.
and your mother and her sisters have
It's
like
too young.
nostalgia about this time now, yeah? They'd like to sing the songs from this time
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Like it's some nice memory.
My mother too young. She wanted to join. I heard.
Really?
She said because that looks cool. That's the cool things for young people in China do. And she saw her sister, older than her, can enjoy this kind of social activity. So of course you can imagine the young people's that's.
And your auntie is such a normal, conservative, kind of stern older lady, quite serious. It's strange to think of her being like that for me. Really strange.
Well,
Yeah.
you should open your mind and imagine when people are young, they are completely different people.
Your father and mother met. They were married straight away, or quite soon, or what?
Not that long. They dating in China. Usually they wouldn't dating for long years, and
No.
that sounds you're not serious about marriage. If you date some girl and you didn't marry her, like more than 1 year, 2 years, you still didn't marry her. That's not your private business. That will be criticism and criticized as well. Okay. You are Liu Mang, you know.
That's Liuman, okay.
Oh, definitely you can't have sex before you're married.
Yeah, of course.
They can fire you, and then you lose job. You can't find another job. If the one factory fire you, you can't find any job in this country.
Wow. So they got married.
Yeah.
Did you hear about their wedding or anything?
Wedding?
No?
No, my mother say.
Can't imagine.
Well, she just complained that my father's family is not very generous to, just like that.
I feel like your mother and father's personalities are quite different, and not in a complimentary way.
Yeah. But no worry, when they're old, they're more and more like.
Quantum entanglement. Wow.
You know that?
Okay.
Yeah. Their relationship could be like that.
After they got married, they had baby very soon. It was very soon.
Very soon. Yeah, that's the normal for Chinese.
And that was your brother, yeah.
Yeah.
Your mother was working at the same factory this time, or she was working as a nursery teacher? Yeah.
It's when they married.
Oh, when they married, she moved to
Yeah,
Beijing.
yeah.
So then she was working as a nursery teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When my brother young, she was.
Your first memory is when your mother was a kindergarten teacher, yeah? A nursery teacher, yeah?
I just feel I can play any toys in that kindergarten. I feel I'm very powerful. I can show off. I always in my imagination I'm the queen or princess.
Okay, of the nursery. Because your mother was the teacher there. So was it a nice nursery?
For me, of course,
Okay.
but not for any children there, I'm sure.
And the other children didn't like you, or they...
Yeah, I don't care actually. I didn't think about that. I only play 1 or 2 girls. You know, I don't like play every children. That's not my hobby. I like just to focus on 1 or 2 child and have the long-term friendship with them.
Okay.
So I don't know the other children like me or not. I didn't think about that.
So how old were you? You took like 3 years old or so?
Even when I'm a baby in the kindergarten.
How about life at home? What do you remember about life at home?
Wow, it's really could be like wild. That's very special for Chinese living in the city where you have some wildlife, because in the factory, is like a big community. They have their hospital, kindergarten, family. You can have apartments, and apartment if you choose the ground floor, you basically can farm chicken, dog, pig probably can't.
So you were on the ground floor? And what animals did you have?
Chicken, dog, we have. Yeah. So it's quite a nice life for the children, yeah? I can really closer to the nature. Mostly strong memories. My brother liked to catch the tadpoles, and I feel that things I never, it's like treasure for me. I never saw this kind of small animal. You saw the chicken, these things is like normal in your life, but so that the tadpoles, how can you get it? Because we're the Yangtze River city. They have kind of like beach, yeah. So you can catch the, but only for older children. They can go there.
So he played by the river?
Yeah, it's dangerous. My parents always just he would tell me, don't tell parents because dangerous. Yeah.
So your brother was quite naughty?
Naughty. He liked to take a risk. Sometimes like fighting. Yeah, in the school. It's year 1, year 2. After school every day, he wouldn't go home on time. So my parents asked me to looking for him in the whole factory, because the whole factory, you know, is like a community. They have lots of road, have lots of playground. So I have to looking for everywhere. Imagine in the big community.
And what happened when you found him?
And I will just threaten him. If you don't go home now, Dad and Mommy will beat you.
How old was he? How old are you? You're like 4 or 5, yeah?
4 or 5, and he will be like 8.
What happened when you told him Mum and Dad would beat you?
Sometimes he's scared, but if children just get this kind of violence too much, and they don't care. They don't care.
So they did beat him?
Yeah. I quite a strong memory. They really beat him quite hard, and sometimes I'm scared.
No.
I remember one time. Sometimes I'm quite nasty, you know. When you're a child, did you heard people say children sometimes could be evil? So sometimes I feel in my, I'm one side could be very sweet, very sympathy girl, but on another side I could be very evil. I remember one time I told I played with my brother, and I like a report to the parents, you know.
Like secret police.
Yeah, yeah. So I told my parents, oh, my brother, I said, brother just hate me or something, yeah. And then, because sometimes he will just tease me or little hurt, just that kind of thing, annoying. So I told my parents, and then, because he always do this kind of behavior, so one time they decided to give him a serious lesson, so beat him. And when they beat him, it's really like chasing from one room to another room, because my brother will try to run away, and then they run away to another room. they just chase him to another room, try to beat him with the stick. You know, and I watch it, and I was just scared. Suddenly, I'm crying, and then my parents suddenly just stop, just forget to punish him, to just come here to say, "Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you crying?" And I said, "Oh, I just feel scared, and I don't want to say I feel guilty, or I don't want to say the brother looks poor. I don't want to say that, but I just say I'm scared." And then they stop hitting me. That's a very strong memory for me.
It's not a good way to deal with children.
Yeah, I think my parents also, they don't know how to balance between the two children.
So one day your brother didn't come home, yeah?
Yeah. You know, because I told you he always quite late get back.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's another reason is, in the start, is maybe he just wanted to play more outside. But later, if he doesn't like his family, probably he doesn't want to go home. So later, he just get used to didn't go home on time. So usually I just stay home. I finish kindergarten, and it's summertime. I remembered, and my mother give me bath, and suddenly some people just knock the door and tell me, my mother, something, you should. I didn't hear anything. So my mother just suddenly just leave me in her house and tell me don't go out, and he just run.
So just you in the house then?
Yeah. And on that night I remember my neighbors take care of me.
Okay.
Yeah. They didn't go home.
Okay.
So that's strong, very strong. And when they're back, and they just never saw them so sad and crying. And then some, because it is a community. So if one family has this kind of things happened, so lots of colleagues of neighbors will come to visit you, and then all the people look sad, and then I know it sounds. I still don't know what's dying mean. Yeah, I don't understand. I just know I didn't see my brother for 2 days maybe, and then I remember I asked my father, because my father held the box. I still remember that the bone box, the picture. I remember he held it, and because it didn't talk so much, Chinese face to the death is very depressed. They wouldn't. They don't know how to show the feeling, so they don't talk so much. So for children, just feel like you want to know something, but you can't get any clue. So I asked my father. I remember I asked my father, "Where's my brother?" And he just said, he just pointed to that picture in the bone box, and he go to that place. It's on the sky.
What really happened to him?
Chasing with children, playing for boys quite normal. Chasing, but from the higher place. A higher place.
Like on the roof? Or?
It's not a roof, but in that community, it's quite a lot of this kind of thing. From the higher place, let me think which place. Like the high place basically is like wall, maybe. But that wall quite wide. But the wall, one side is road, but another side is you can fall down.
Okay.
So he just running on that.
Okay.
I don't know how to say that.
Okay.
So basically, my parents say that height is about 2 or 3 floors.
Okay.
So from there, fall down.
It's quite high.
Yeah. But my parents later, they years later, they say it's just in the city, the hospital technique is not advanced enough. If they just send it to the Wuhan hospital early, it still have chance. But they don't have any experience for young couple. They don't know. They didn't make a decision. They just follow the hospital, and hospitals didn't take it too serious. I don't know. So it's too late. When they want to transfer to the biggest hospital, it's too late.
After that, how long did they stay? How long did you stay?
So they want to leave straight away in the same year.
It's 10 years.
Yeah, they don't want to stay the sad place. And also they think, I remember they have strong opinion. They say this factory, lots of family has this accident, lose life, this kind of accident. They say, this is unlucky factory. We don't want to stay here anymore. Yeah.
They decided to move back to your mother's hometown,
hometown.
yeah?
Because my mother's sister has a little power. A sister and a sister's husband has a little power in the Wuxi, so they can. Because you move to another city, it's not a freedom in China in that time. You know, you're not allowed to move. Because no, the other Danwei accepted it until you find some guanxi or powerful people. They say they agree with you to move.
So this is when your father trained to be a lawyer?
Yeah, because my father just bored of this kind of system. He want to have a free career.
Okay.
Not controlled by a factory.
Okay.
Because if you work in a factory, you always be they say you are the one of the screw.
A tiny, we say a cog.
Cog.
Yeah. In a machine.
For the machine.
Yeah.
So he want to escape this. And then at time they have the policy to give the people, even you already go to work, you still have a chance to go to university again. So he just decided to study again. He want to jump out.
Okay. How long until your mother got pregnant?
The same year, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
And your mother went.
So they really,
Yeah.
they really can't wait, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
remember at 7 years old I moved. 7 years old is 1987.
Okay. So that time was the one-child policy, yeah.
Yeah, that's already.
So they're not allowed to have
No.
another child.
Yeah.
So what did they do?
First they hiding. When the woman pregnant, and the first 4 or 5 months you still can hide.
So they don't want the Danwei to find out, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mother still go to work. Yeah, because if you have good guanxi with your boss, not big boss, just a small boss, they wouldn't really focus on you. But if they really know you have this, nobody can help you. The boss can't protect you, of course. So they just say, let's say 5 months, my mother feel still safe. Because you can say, I'm just fat. Just fat.
But then
If 7 months, and then the factory, because every factory have a department is just deal with this. They call the woman's department. So they find at him. Her.
So what happened?
Talk
then?
to her.
So
Did you pregnant? They just ask her, are you pregnant? You know, it's really like police. My mother say, maybe I need to go to hospital to check I'm sick. Maybe it's some. So he just asked her for leave for 1 month, and then try to find out how to do. So they, and then just what my mother in that time idea is, if can cheat 1 month, just if can get over 1 month, that would be successful. Get another month will be more successful. So just until nearly 9 months, and you can't cheat it, you can't lie. Everybody knows. So they tell her, you have to go to hospital now. You have to abortion now.
So what did she do?
But also my mother lied to them. They say, oh, it's just 7 months.
Right.
So actually it's nearly 9 months.
So what did she do then?
They will, it's like police, yeah? But it's woman, of course, not men. Because this is pregnant things. So the woman, that like police woman, will go with you to the hospital. But because my auntie have a little relationship with this factory boss, something, so they would too careful to watch you. They take it serious. They think, oh, okay, we trust you. You will do it. So we go with you. We go with you to the hospital, but we wouldn't stay with you all the time. And also, my aunties work in a hospital, so this relationship can help my mother to give birth.
Okay. Your sister was born in Wuxia?
Yeah.
I thought she was born in Huzhou. Okay.
In Wuxia.
Okay.
So, if they're really strict, so they should stay with the woman abortion, watch your abortion. But because in mother's case, my auntie just maybe give them some money or something. So let them just you don't have to stay here, okay? Just trust us. So they wouldn't stay in that what is called the woman's keepers room.
Delivery room.
Yeah, they ask them to leave, wait outside, and then they give birth. I remembered my auntie told me, say, before they leave the delivery room, they just try to show them. Oh, we already got that injection. You see it? This abortion. Show them. We're going to do now, but could you just leave? You don't have to stay here. Really, just like that.
God, your sister is very lucky to be here.
And then my auntie say, so, and they don't want to leave actually. They're still just very strict with their responsibility to watch you, and then my auntie say, yeah, we got the injection we're going to do, and they say they didn't put in his, just
Pretended.
Pretend to just put another way, not on the body. You know, that's just really like
9 months.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So instead, your mother had a baby.
Yeah, and then after baby come out, just straight away to another car is behind the hospital. Just wait there.
And your auntie just take your sister out.
Yeah, take it out. But I guess in this case, if you cheat them, it's impossible. Probably they know, but they just probably they already give them some money to let them just pretend. Just pretend do your job, okay? So probably because if you really want to cheat them, if they really want to focus on you, you can't cheat them. How can you cheat them? Where's that baby? Show me. Yeah? You can't cheat them. This probably is in China. Is anything rule? If you have guanxi, you always can escape. You always can be fine.
Wow.
So in that case, my mother just rely on my auntie has a little guanxi in the local town, so can do some help. So my mother is really appreciate this.
And it's natural birth or cut out?
Natural birth. My mother is natural birth.
Oh my God. So then, what to do with your sister, this baby?
No milk. just drink the soy milk.
Really?
And honey. I told you a really bad thing is my parents really don't know how to feed baby. They give them honey since she was born, giving honey all.
Soy milk and honey.
You know, honey has so many hormones.
Yeah.
That's really bad for baby. That's why later my sister can't grow tall.
Okay. So
Too much hormone.
okay, so they took her to Huangmei straight
And
away.
then- yeah, straight away. Can't stay.
And
Because even you cheat to the people and they know you're cheating, you can't just make this too fake, and they will lose their job. Yeah.
so who did your sister stay with?
Grandma, my father's mother,
Okay.
take care of her. My uncle, the third son.
Let's stop for now.
Okay.